All right, well, welcome back to the iWealth podcast, and today we're talking about my parents in particular, and they're coming up fast and furious on retirement, and one of the things that my mom floated the other day was, what about being able to do a little giving back, to do some volunteering, and are they too late to the game? Talk me through your opinion, because you got some cool opinions on the retirement volunteering thing.
Yeah, I promote not waiting till you're retired.
Okay.
To start volunteering.
So they're behind.
I would say so. In order to make that transition smooth, the idea of going from having our day full and our just the busyness of working and transitioning to retirement, we can soften that. We can make it a lot more enjoyable by already having something to go to. Mm-hmm. So instead of leaving something, I'm done with my job, I don't want to be there anymore. Having that next step already thought out and already being at least on a base level involved in it.
Yep.
And some people are like, well, I don't know what to volunteer for. I don't know what group to get involved with. And I would say, look at where you've been in the past. So things that you enjoyed when you were younger. Yeah. Things that you thought were valuable that your kids were involved with. Yep. And then leap down to the grandkids level. What are they involved in? Go volunteer there. Yeah. If they're local to you, it gives you the best opportunity to be around your grandkids. Yeah. Right? And if your kids and grandkids aren't local, then find that same thing that they're involved with. I'm involved in the scouting program in Waseca. Yep. If my kids were grown up and now have grandkids and they're in a different state, if I'm involved in the program that those kids are in, we've got something to talk about. Totally. I love this idea. It's not, how's the weather there? Yeah. Or, my hip hurts today. It's, I did this. What did your group do? A whole different bond and relationship that you can form. And if you believe in the program, if you believe in whatever that group is, let's face it, there's less volunteers today. Yeah. There's less people involved in it. There's less volunteers. If you don't do it, it might be gone. So basically, it sounds like the mentality switch is, what do I want to volunteer to change the question of what are not my kids but my grandkids involved with? How do I become involved with that? Because people tend to get the most joy from the folks that are their grandkids, right? That's where they're getting the most joy. This is a genius play. And I've never heard it before. This is actually I really like this idea. Anything else that we should know about that topic other than go figure out where your grandkids are at and be involved? Yep. Volunteering isn't always free. Okay, explain that. So we tend to get involved in groups. Okay. And the more passionate we are, the more time we might give it. Yes. Time is a resource. Right? It's taken away from something else. Might be taken away from my spouse if I'm volunteering more. But we also tend to start opening our pocketbook a little differently. Maybe we only gave to them yearly or quarterly before, but now we're at more meetings, more events. There's more fundraisers, more raffles. So you do have to make sure that if you have a budget, where does this fit in? Right? If I've got a finite set of resources, do I have to scale back something else because of this new group that I'm in or passion that I'm doing? So you just have to be aware of it, that it can change your spending habits when you volunteer. That's such an interesting thing too, because it's like you think you're retired, and then all of a sudden everyone's kind of hitting you up because you're involved with 3 or 4 civic organizations. Yep. Very cool. Well, thank you so much for spending a little time and definitely giving us a cool little morsel of information. And we'll see you back here next time on the iWealth podcast. Thanks.